Hello, hello, and welcome, welcome one, welcome all. So, we're here again just to share some updates and to learn from you, what is happening in your communities as we continue to keep safe in the context of this hurricane. All right, so again, welcome one, welcome all. Please remember to hit the like button, the share button, and the subscription button so that we can continue to grow stronger together. And also, share so that, others know about this platform where they can get, updates. And of course, we're also here serving as a platform where we can connect with each other just in case you're not able to connect, make those direct connections with family members and friends. All right, again, welcome, welcome. Let me know what is happening in your community. We're going to share some updates I've been sharing there in the WhatsApp group. All right, and I hope that you're taking care of yourselves and you're keeping safe. All right, that is definitely important. So come on in, guys, and let me know who is here. That is definitely important. So, Kenroy, welcome, welcome. And Kenroy is saying, I pray everyone heed, to the mandatory evacuation orders listed by the government today. And we have that to share with you. I've been sharing that for sure. So, again, welcome, guys. Welcome. Let's just share this chat with everyone, this live. So I'm just waiting for our numbers to just go up here, and so that we can just continue to grow stronger together and continue to get those updates. All right, so welcome, welcome, welcome as we continue here. I'm just multitasking, guys. All right, as we continue here to connect with you. Tech Gaming, happy to have you there in the chat. So yes, guys, just come on in, hit the like button as you enter so that others can know about this live and just join us. So that is important. All right, so I am just giving you that opportunity to do that as we build our number here. Again, welcome one, welcome all. We want to hear from you. We're also going to turn on the WhatsApp call. We're going to open the WhatsApp line. So that is going to be important as well in the context of the updates that we're getting. This is a platform where we keep it real and respectful, all right? So you don't need to worry about that. We don't disrespect here. And again, we just keep it, real and respectful. So we ask that you hit the like button, hit the subscription button, and let us just continue to grow stronger together. All right, so let me see, guys. Let me know what's happening in your community. Let us know. And we have some information here to share with you as well based on the updates as they are coming in. All right, so we're connecting with you. The plan is from our side is to go live as well tomorrow night. So to just be here where people can connect. So while this thing is going on, and we are still hoping that Melissa will go back from whence cometh, back to the sender. That is really what we want in this context, because as we have been sharing even earlier today, this morning, if you were here, this is not something that is the norm for Jamaica. All right. So we have had, yes, category 4 hurricanes, but they have just pretty much, brushed Jamaica. So over there on the sea. But this one is expected to make landfall. And that is the danger with this one. All right. So that for sure is definitely significant. So, an update that we have received since my last update in the WhatsApp group is that all toll booths across Jamaica are opened. Let me see, are to be opened. All right, once the weather conditions deteriorate with the approach of Hurricane Melissa. All right, so the directive took effect at 5 p.m. All right, so that's my understanding. I know that we were informed of Highway 2000 being opened. All right, so it appears now that all the toll roads you can have access. And it doesn't mean, guys, that we're going on a joyride. All right, if it is something that is urgent, and also this is also important for first responders. So again, you want to ensure that you are keeping safe. That is definitely important. All right, so in the context of the last update regarding Melissa, Hurricane Melissa continuing west but still expected to turn, hurricane warning still in effect for Jamaica. So a hurricane warning remains in effect for Jamaica as category 4 Hurricane Melissa continues moving over the Caribbean Sea south of the island. All right, so at 7 p.m., the center of Hurricane Melissa was located near latitude 16.4 degrees north, longitude 77.3 degrees west. All right, so this is 185 kilometers or 115 miles south southwest of Kingston, or 156 kilometers or 98 miles south of Rocky Point in Clarendon. All right, so Melissa is moving toward the west near 7 kilometers per hour or 5 miles per hour, and a slow westward motion is expected tonight, followed by a turn to the north and northeast on Monday and Tuesday. On the forecast track, the core of Melissa is expected to move closer to Jamaica and over the island on Tuesday. All right, so just for you to get that understanding there. So, maximum sustained winds have increased to near 230 kilometers per hour or 145 miles per hour with higher gusts. All right, so just for you to get that clear, additional intensification is forecast over the next day or so, followed by fluctuations in intensity. Melissa is expected to be a powerful major hurricane when making landfall in Jamaica Monday night or Tuesday morning. All right. Hurricane Melissa is expected to produce rainfall amounts reaching 350 to 700 millimeters, 15 to 30 inches over parts of Jamaica in the next few days, especially over eastern parishes, with higher amounts over hilly terrain. All right, so flash floods and landslides are likely. As the hurricane moves closer, tropical storm force winds are expected to spread from the southeastern sections of Jamaica to the northwest tonight. Hurricane conditions are expected by Monday. All right, life threatening storm surge accompanied by large and destructive waves is likely along the south coast of Jamaica late Monday to Tuesday morning and could reach 9 to 13 feet above ground level near and to the east of where the center of Melissa makes landfall. All right, small craft operators, including fishers on the quays and banks, are strongly advised to remain in safe harbor until all warning messages have been lifted and wind and sea conditions have returned to normal. All right, so that's the situation there. We should get another update later on. So hopefully we're still here and we can get that update. But we're constantly checking the National Hurricane Center for updates. So again, we will, keep you posted. So I'm just going to come in the chat for a little bit just to get a sense of what is happening. All right, so looking in the chat here, I'm seeing Tech Gaming is saying yes, we are one big family here. Remember to touch up the like button. It's not going to bite. All right, just like and subscribe. All right, thanks for sharing there. Dalton, welcome. And Dalton is saying just coming in, what's the latest? So the latest is that Hurricane Melissa is still category 4 and it continues to intensify, and the hurricane is still on its way to Jamaica. So I'm just going to just move over here just to share my screen here with you, and I guess this is really not in the order that I am expecting it to be in right now. But the idea here is that there is a mandatory evacuation order in effect for certain places. And you guys, you need to move. So earlier today, as I shared in the group, we have been getting updates that, people in Port Royal, they were putting up resistance. They don't want to move, and I am not too sure why. But here are the areas, all right? So the order takes effect immediately and requires all persons to evacuate the following areas. So Port Royal in Kingston, Portland Cottage, Clarendon, Rocky Point, Clarendon, Old Harbour Bay, St. Catherine, Taylorland, Bull Bay, St. Andrew, New Haven, St. Andrew, Riverton City, St. Andrew. I am surprised that I am not seeing like Falca Beach on this, but in that context. So guys, you want to ensure that you are taking these things seriously. All right, that is definitely important. Dr. B Charles, welcome. Yes, the next update is at 11, but we might be able to get it a bit earlier because we're also keeping attuned to the National Hurricane Center as well. All right, so let me just drop the WhatsApp number in the chat there, and let me just pin it. And happy to have you back here with us as well. So as we continue to share as best as we can on this side. All right, so again, guys, welcome, welcome. Also, it's important to note that, all schools remain closed, and the ministry, they're definitely advising that. And let me just go to that update. All right, that, a new deadline will be communicated for the payment of external examination fees. So the students who are taking who will be sitting, CXC exams, so whether it's CSEC or CAPE examinations, for example. So the ministry is letting you guys know, do not worry about it. Do not try to say, okay, I need to go to the bank, and most of these places are going to be closed anyway. So to reduce the anxiety level, let the government, the authorities do their jobs. Just ensure that you're keeping informed and you are also, just keeping safe, because that is definitely important. So I am looking in the chat here. Let me just look. Ron, welcome. And landfall will shift east and west. Prepare as you are getting hit. All right. So it's shifting, and we want it to just go away. All right. Ken Roy is saying, I believe that the people of Treasure Beach should evacuate as well. That's another important place there for sure. And if I go to, let's go to some of these high risk communities, you should be seeing that on screen. All right, so when you look at Clarendon here, as you can see in Antone, all right, and you're just seeing that on your screen. I am also checking for some updates, so just give me a moment to do that as well. All right, again, welcome one, welcome all. If you're just tuning in, we're so happy to have you guys here with us. Welcome, welcome. All right, so as you can see there, some of the high risk communities, all right, and of course, as you look, you will notice that Treasure Beach is on that list there for St. Elizabeth. So for sure, that one is definitely on the list. All right, so in the context of the update that is available right now, all right, so what I am seeing here from the National Hurricane Center, Melissa, all right, likely to cause life threatening and catastrophic flash flooding and landslides in portions of Jamaica and southern Hispaniola. Hurricane conditions expected to begin by late tomorrow in Jamaica. All right, so guys, still expecting those hurricane conditions, and this is the latest update just about 3 minutes ago from the National Hurricane Center. All right, so again, we should ensure that we're taking this thing seriously. All right, that is definitely important. We cannot, not prepare for this. And when I mean prepare, I mean just ensure that you are keeping safe. All right, safety trumps everything. All right, so thanks for sharing there, Dr. B. Charles. And guys, the WhatsApp number is in the chat. You can definitely give us a call. But what I am going to do, I am going to go to some of the information that was shared earlier. All right, so that you can hear. So I'm going to go to Mr. Matthew Samuda, and hopefully you can hear what he has to share. All right, so this was shared earlier today.
Particularly true at this moment, it is still not, as I have started every update with the statement, because it is incredibly true. And I think particularly it is still not time for panic. It is time to complete your preparations. It is time for some prayer. And it is time for us to plan and time for us to engage our programs. This storm will test our systems. I want to publicly put on record my thanks to Evan Thompson and to his entire team, leadership all the way through the organization, as they've been working 24 hours a day, not on shift or I think in teams. I think every team is fully engaged over the last 10 days as we've been tracking this unusual storm. So I want to publicly thank the Met Service on behalf of Jamaica and the government, because they've been doing an awesome job in keeping us up to date and giving us the information that we absolutely need to plan. We also want to put on record our thanks to our international partners, in particular the National Hurricane Center, that does support us significantly with technology and visibility that we may not have locally. We also want to thank the UN country office that has reached out to us and offered their support, and many other partners. We are at a critical juncture, and at our earlier discussion with the utility providers, Minister has made an important point. The proof of the pudding is going to be in the eating in terms of how we execute the plans that we have. But let's look first at the state of our planning, certainly for the water sector and its interconnectivity with the power sector. The Water Commission has engaged all of its emergency protocols. We have done a re-review of our performance and ability to restore service post burial over the last few weeks and ensured that we have ticked the boxes, so to speak, of the plan that we wrote post burial. One of the things that we've done and is formed a co-working group with JPS. So JPS is very clear on all of the pumps that are critical for supply of hospitals, of infirmaries, of places of safety, of places of detention, so that they can work to restore current to those first. They're also clear on the pumping stations that function to load trucks, so that they know that those are also priority stations that have to be restored, so that we're able to also do emergency water distribution while turbidity settles, while you get your generators dispatched. Now, one of the things that we've not been able to do is to pre-dispatch our generators, and that is for a very real reason. We've seen the issues that Digicel and Flow are having with theft. We've seen the issue of theft of fuel from generators. So we will have to dispatch immediately after the all clear comes from ADPEM so that we reduce that theft. But we have over 50 generators, which are major generators that create the triple phase, or rather triple phase generators that provide the power that you need to start our pumping system. This will restore close to 80% of our customer base within 72 hours of the all clear and turbidity settling. We can't say definitively where turbidity will be a particular challenge and how much of a challenge it will be, but we expect to get to 80% of our customers with sporadic supply after 72 hours, because generators do have to cool, they do have to break, they do have to take their time for service and for refueling, etc. So it won't be 72 hours and everything back up and running, but 72 hours that there will be supply that allow people to catch water, to store, to backfill their storage, and to be able to manage. We've also engaged 4 mobile generators that will move to remote areas that we expect that are hardest hit, so at least they're able to get some water and able to backfill their storage as well. We're also happy to report that 4 of our major pumping stations and treatment plants also now have their own resilience in terms of their energy supply. We installed major generators, including at places like Logwood, which supplies all of Western Hanover and Western Westmoreland. We upgraded the supply at the Mona treatment plant, the Hermitage treatment plant, and indeed at several of our facilities in St. Catherine. So we are in a better place than last year, certainly, to respond to water distribution. We've also ensured that we've engaged our truckers and that they're pre-positioned to go to our loading bays immediately after to start to deal with many of our elderly shut-ins. We've got quite the list from SDC, Minister Mackenzie, so we're able to go to several of those persons who we know are shut-ins and will need a lot of help very quickly. As I said, we're more resilient this year than last year, but this is a bigger storm than last year. And this is a potential direct hit. Beryl was not a direct hit. So we're more resilient. Let's hope that additional resilience is sufficient for what is a worse storm than we would have faced last year with Beryl. God bless Jamaica. Stay safe and stay smart and listen to the official sources of information. If I was to take what I just saw, I wouldn't have been able to drive in New Kingston a while ago because of flooding that's being posted as now. So we encourage you to follow JIS, follow OPM, follow the Ministry of Education and Information, follow the relevant ministry sources, and of course, reputable media houses.
All right, so that was Minister Samuda there sharing, and be safe, be smart, in the context of what's happening. All right, so again, welcome one, welcome all. The WhatsApp number is in the chat there, and we're here, just sharing some updates with you guys. Ron, all right, thanks for sharing there. Definitely, mental health is definitely important in this time for sure. Tech Gaming, you are welcome and thanks for being here. So yes, guys, we're here and we are just sharing as best as we can based on the updates and once they are available. So the latest update from the National Hurricane Center shared that Melissa is likely to cause life-threatening and catastrophic flash flooding and landslides in portions of Jamaica and southern Hispaniola. Hurricane conditions expected to begin by late tomorrow in Jamaica. All right. So that is definitely still a thing. Melissa is just doing her own little thing, just moving, taking our sweet little time. But, let's just continue to trust and pray that, Melissa will just go somewhere else. All right. And we'll definitely see what has happened, what will happen in this context. But safety is definitely important. All right. And you have been receiving, the updates to evacuate these communities. And I am not sure why you want to stay. Please do not put yourself in danger, and, first responders, because they too, their lives, matter, and they have their families as well. So people who are in these areas, so Port Royal, Portland Cottage, Rocky Point there in Clarendon, Old Harbour Bay. We heard that the alarm went off. Come on, people, you need to go. Taylorland, Bull Bay, New Haven, Riverton City. And if you're in other areas that are on, as you can see on screen there, some of the areas in the high risk, if you're in one of these high risk communities, you should be on the alert. So Treasure Beach, along the coast there, Farka Beach, Milk River, people, you just want to ensure that you are keeping safe. This is no joke. And as what all the official reports have been sharing, is that, we have never had this experience. If Melissa should come to Jamaica in the way that it is expected, then it means that this is going to be something historic. We have never had this experience where such a strong hurricane is making landfall. All right. So that is significant. That is definitely significant. And again, Hurricane Melissa is intensifying. All right. And that for sure isn't what we want, but we need to just be prepared. All right. We need to be prepared. And let me just check in the chat there. Thanks, Dr. B. Charles. Thanks for sharing that. We are trying our best here on this side to just provide you with the updates as best as we can. Now, for the people who are tuned in, can you let us know what is happening in your community? So we had a check-in earlier in South Manchester, and we heard that it was very windy, all right, in South Manchester. So that's the context there in South Manchester. Some places in Southwest Clarendon, it was still pretty calm, or in that way, not too much happening there. So let us know what is happening. So we heard about Havana Heights as well there in Clarendon. So a little breeze on and the rain was just on and off. All right, so that's the context there as well. So let us know, guys. That would be fantastic. So you can share in the chat, or you can give us a call. The WhatsApp number is pinned right there in the chat. We would love to hear from you. All right. And St. Anne. So if you're tuning in here and you're from St. Anne, we would like to know, what is it like there in St. Anne or in sections of St. Anne? And remember, now we have, family members wanting to hear from you. So check in, guys, and let us know what is happening in, your area, or based on the last updates that you have received from family members. Let us know what is happening. All right. So again, welcome one, welcome all. And don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscription button, and let us just continue to grow stronger together. All right. So let me just check here for updates to see if there is further updates available. And I guess I shared in the WhatsApp group in the context of JPS and the fake news that was going around in the context of outages. So they have said, that's fake. And so they are pretty much, according to the utility company, ready to respond. All right. And they have their crews and materials in position. All right. And the message from them is that we're all in this together and we're all ready to respond. All right. So that is something for you to note there as well. All right. And so, it's a partnership. And hopefully, guys, you have some water stored, because that's going to be important as well. All right. And people, if you're going there to just vandalize, or you know remove property, utility wiring, whatever it may be, from floor or other companies, please don't. It makes the recovery harder for us. All right. So let us just be good citizens in this time. Let us take care of each other. Let us just continue to keep safe. Ensure that you're checking in with your friends and family members, especially if they're sick, if they're vulnerable, if they're old and not able to help themselves a lot. So try to at least have some supports in place for them. All right, at this point, because again, we based on the reports that we are getting, this system, this hurricane, is going to be a serious one, and we don't want to take this for granted. All right, who is still here? I don't see any new comments in the chat, so come on, let us know what's happening in your area. That would be fantastic. All right, don't be afraid to share there in the chat. Give us a call as well and let us know. All right, so if you need to travel on the toll roads, that is available, that is open and free. But please, this is not a ride. All right, it's just there in the event that you need it. All right, so please remain home. Please continue to keep safe. All right, and we are. Let me just see here. So there is also an expectation that Melissa will turn. So we are hoping, and I don't know what that turn will mean for us, but we want it to just go away. All right. All right. So we'll definitely see what happens in that context as well. We're also being updated that students at the UE, so the Mona campus, who are there at the facility, were provided with storm supplies today. All right, so that is good, and I hope that these students will be safe. All right, so that's a situation there as well. So again, welcome if you're just tuning in. I am looking in the chat, not seeing any new comments there just yet, unless my comments are just not moving. All right, so again, if you're in one of these areas on screen, please leave. All right, do not allow this to, don't put up any resistance. Just go. All right, just go and understand that your life is definitely important and you should prioritize your safety. I mean, I know, the frustrations and the concerns when we have worked so hard for what we have and we do not want to lose it. But if you lose your life, then how is it you're going to have access to these things? So please continue to keep safe, all right? That is definitely important. And I am just checking here for updates. And I'm looking in the chat, and Dr. Charles there is saying, Okay, yeah, for sure in the context of the turn. So, not too sure, what that is going to mean for us. And as I remember right now, earlier today, the mayor of Kingston and St. Andrew was asking the residents of Raytown in central Kingston to evacuate. So, Raytown people, please ensure that you are following it. And it's not on this list, but obviously, to evacuate the seaside fishing village. All right, so obviously that is important. All right, so they were there providing buses to help with that evacuation. So if you're still there, you need to get out. All right, this is going to be again serious, and you do not, all right, want to be there when the hurricane hits, all right, and then it's difficult for you to leave because at that point it's going to be just too unsafe. Venturing out and perhaps staying to will be too unsafe. All right, so get out now. All right, that is definitely important for you to do as well. And the airports are closed, so just so that you know that as well. So I am just checking some more updates. All right, so we're going to hear from a resident there in Rocky Point. All right, so this was earlier, so let's just go to this conversation.
Higher ground. Me I go to Portland in Louis Bird then too. So me I get some food as you can see. Banana and whatever make it cost me have all a little room here to warm up your body. This man when me wake up this this man when me wake up at 9,000 birds me see a fly I go up a Portland Hill. The bird them a show me sign.
Are you leaving?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Higher ground. Me I go to Portland in Louis Bird then too. So me I get some food as you can see. Banana and whatever make it cost me have all a little room here to warm up your body.
We are here at Rocky Point in the parish of Clarendon, and it really is a sobering scene here as residents try to secure property as well as some of their boats as they anticipate the arrival of Hurricane Melissa.
Well, me just leave me house and me I come look at the boat, and when I come, oh my God, this man behind me, Jogi, Angie, son, bag about 13 away, 17 boat we all up. A man where I drop the boat said 25,000. We just move the boat from there to put it there, we couldn't afford it. So we have to get help one another and a job. But we know it's a serious storm this is going to affect Rocky Point. I know it.
How did Beryl affect you last year?
All know me not recover it yet. All know. It's just like about 9 months now me put on my house stop. Furniture them gone. I don't, but me know me I work with it till better, but now it gonna affect me more.
Me no do nothing secure. This is not all about house, you know, sir. This is all about life. No house business, no, this, sir. This is all about life. So that's why you see me go gather up my stuff them.
What about family and friends here? Is everyone cooperating?
Yes, we are going good. We are going good because see the 19 boat we all up for morning now we dry up in no tractor, nothing, nothing. Now we dry up in man strength. We use to dry up it.
The Jamaica Urban Transit Company has sent transportation for the residents of the area, and some are refusing to go.
Mr. Pernell, and instead he's sending a bus by 1, 2 o'clock for all the disabled people, the old people them, and parents with single mothers with lots of kids. In come last night and give away a phone card, and give away chapalin, and they have lots of mattress and package to give away, and everybody refused to go. They're not leaving their home. He can do more.
Please, mommy, please pack up the necessary things and come. Let's go. Where are we gonna go? Close the shop and come. But yes, so some of them are so stubborn, they don't want to go. It's just like when no one want, and I tell them, say, leave, and they're not leaving. Because me feel the blunt of 2 hurricane. I was homeless for 5 months and 3 days. I know what it is. Me not take warning, see him lightly. But other persons have ulterior motives because you know at that time them loot and all them something. But I am appealing to those persons, please, please, please to go to the shelter that the government assigned for you to go. Higher ground, they said go to very technical with a little distance from here and it is more safer. And person, it still don't want to move.
Why do you think it's safer to stay than to go?
You know, we have to here to watch the boat because remember the boat is there to travel on the water.
Yes, we can't run left the boat then. We can't run left the boat because you know it's a boat have to go save if anything. You know, we have to stay close to the boat then. We can't run, we have to run, come back. You see me?
None of them, make sure me are telling us so we can tell them. The same thing should happen last time. And then vulnerable, none of them can tell about you lose. Me lose house, and me lose this, and me want this, and me want that.
All right, so there you have it, and you've heard it. Some people in Rocky Point, they're leaving, but others are refusing to leave. And you know, that part is a sad part, and I am hoping that the people who are refusing to leave, they're not they do not have responsibility for children and other people like elderly people who are dependent on them in that way, because if you're planning on risking your life, it's really not the right thing or the responsible thing to do to risk, you know, somebody else's life. So for sure, you know, we understand that yes, it's your bread and butter, but if you're not alive to make that bread and butter, you know, or to access, like, how is it going to work? All right, so just, you know, just go. And it is also sad too that people take this time to do all the looting and all of that. You know, you just need to stop and, you know, don't make a bad situation worse in that context, for sure. Like, I totally get it, but you just have to, you know, you just have to just, you know, again, let it be. Life, life, life. Once there is life, there is hope. All right, so that's the situation there. All right, so we have another, I guess, update conversation from, and this is coming from craft vendors and fishermen at White River in St. Anne. All right, so let's hear what they have to say from this side.
Live on the White River Reggae Beach, where the fishermen are all gathered. Some of them are.
I try my best way. The life not gone.
All right, and how you feel about the upcoming staff? What you feel about it?
Well, we can't have bad road.
The Watcher Staff Market have been closed down. You see, we have to take out with things, put chapalin over it and all them things. So, business been bad. We are out of business right now. And the storm not coming. So, you must know, devastated.
All right, have you experienced storms here in Otres before?
Yes, man. We got through Gilbert, and it was very, very bad. Out of food, out of water, out of light, everything, the whole place locked down. So I'm going to hope it all reach back to this. It's coming serious.
And how would you say this storm affects your business after it has passed?
Well, when it passes, you know, place locked down, no tourists, no business, everything. We take a good while to come back on foot. I know the stock wet up, rainfall, and the things them wet up and them spoil. So you know it's a big problem for us as crab traders.
All right, so we all understand, you know, that it's not going to be easy. It's tough, you know, and that's the reality that, you know, we face as Jamaicans in the context of hurricanes, right? It's going to be tough, but let's just think about bouncing back as opposed to just giving away or the likelihood of just endangering our lives. All right, so that is definitely important. All right, in that context, for sure. All right, welcome. Let us know what is happening or the latest update that you have from friends and family members back in Jamaica. All right, if you're not there. So again, we want to hear from you. All right. I talked about earlier that warning there that was triggered in Old Darba, and obviously they're on the list there, Old Darba Bay. So the communities here with the mandatory evacuation orders, please leave. All right. And also, if you know that you're in one of the high risk communities and you're expecting flooding, storm surge, whatever, just leave. Landslide, leave. All right, that is definitely important. Let me just quickly look in the chat here. And Dr. Charles is saying you will always get people who decide to stay. And I totally get that. Tech Gaming is saying yes, life for sure. Tell them, and I do hope they listen. Hopefully they will, because we don't want to hear any sad stories in the context of this hurricane. I mean, sad, yes, you might lose your house and all that, but we don't want to hear about people losing their lives. All right, 15 years ago to this day, we were dealing with Thomas in St. Lucia. All right, so these are really tough times, tough times, and it as I don't remember who mentioned earlier. Perhaps it's you, Dr. Charles, or maybe not. Who talked about mental health, and it's definitely important, right? So the worries that come along with these events, the anxiety, the uncertainty, for sure, it's going to be tough, and we just have to just ride out our storm the best possible way, prioritizing our safety, because that is definitely important. All right, so I am just looking here in the chat. Very tough indeed. Okay, Ron. Yeah, Ron said that for sure. Yeah. So, guys, I cannot overemphasize the importance of us, keeping safe. That is definitely important. All right. And I know a lot of people, they're perhaps going to try to get their best sleep tonight, because nobody is going to want to fall asleep Monday night. Everybody is going to try to be up to ensure that they have a sense of what is happening. And that is important, I believe. So if you have kids and all of that, somebody needs to be up to ensure that the updates, and if something is happening where you are, you can make an informed but a decision that is going to keep you safe. All right, so that too is also important in that context. So let me just double check here to see what further updates are available. So I'm just checking, guys. I continue to check. All right, so we have the key messages from the Hurricane Center. And in the context of the messages, so let me just share. So Melissa, still currently 145 miles per hour, category 4 hurricane. Conditions in Jamaica will continue to get much worse on Monday, peaking Monday night through Tuesday. Hurricane warnings in effect for Jamaica and eastern Cuba. All right. With tropical storm warnings for 80, and catastrophic impacts are expected in Jamaica and Haiti, with potentially catastrophic landslides for eastern Cuba. The hurricane is then forecast to move through the southeast Bahamas on Wednesday. So people in Bahamas, we're definitely keeping you in our prayers. Cuba as well, Haiti, I know. So this is the key message for Jamaica. Seek shelter now. Damaging winds and heavy rainfall tonight and Monday will cause catastrophic and life threatening flash flooding and numerous landslides before potentially devastating winds arrive Monday night and Tuesday morning. Extensive infrastructural damage, long duration power and communication outages, and isolation of communities are expected. Life threatening storm surge and damaging waves are expected along portions of the southern coast Monday night and Tuesday morning. All right, so just for you to understand that. Is there anyone from White House and Black River? All right, let us know what is happening in those communities. All right, White House and Black River. Let us know. Senti people, are you here? And how about Manchester? And Garmel, welcome. Definitely, we just have to hope and pray. So, in terms of the messages for Haiti, and then I'll go to Cuba and then Bahamas. So, Haiti and the Dominican Republic, catastrophic and life threatening flash flooding and landslides are expected across southwestern Haiti and southeastern portions of the Dom Rep through midweek. In Haiti, extensive infrastructural damage and isolation of communities are likely, although winds have temporarily decreased on the Tiburon Peninsula. They are likely to increase again across much of western Haiti on Tuesday. Eastern Cuba. Life-threatening storm surge is expected along portions of the southern coast of eastern Cuba late Tuesday and Tuesday night. Damaging winds and heavy rainfall with life-threatening and potentially catastrophic flash flooding and landslides are also expected beginning on Monday. Preparations should be rushed to completion. Southeast Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos, monitor Melissa closely. There is an increasing risk of a significant storm surge, damaging winds, and heavy rainfall Tuesday and Wednesday. Watches will likely be required early Monday. So, I know we have quite a lot of people here from the Bahamas. We're always tuning in to gaming. You know, I am always checking on you people. Sending you a message because this is a community. This is a space where we're checking on each other, and I appreciate that. I know some of you, you don't hear from me and you send a message and you check in to find out what is going on, because at the end of the day, we're all human, you know, and we have struggles. They may not always be the same, but we have our fair share that we're carrying. But, you know, I am just here to just send you some hope and, you know, just to let you know that with Christ in the vessel, we can smile at the storm. All right. But just keep safe. Don't do anything stupid. All right. And God help those who help themselves. And the Bible, I guess, also state that God called fool, but he never keep them. So don't be stupid. Don't be foolish. All right. I know when we work a lot and we put in so much effort into obtaining some things, you know, it's so hard to just walk away just like that. You want to be there, you want to watch it, you want to do what, you know, just keep safe, you know, prioritize that. That is definitely important. Your safety is critical. Without that, you can't enjoy all the fruits of your labor. All right, so that part of it too. So let's just continue to smile at the storm. All right, that is definitely important. And Garmel there is saying all Jamaicans should take the warning seriously, for sure. But perhaps, and I see your emoji there, Dr. Charles. And you know, that's the situation. And again, I understand, you know, I understand that it can be very hard. because we work hard, but my, no, no, no. It's definitely not the time. All right, so definitely not the time for us to be so relaxed, or the time for us to lose sight of our personal safety. That is definitely important for sure. So, Garmel, did you check in with your family members? Is everyone okay? All right, so I'm just doing another round here of checks just to see what happens or what is happening, if we're getting any new updates. And for sure, over on this side, we have to get some rest because we want to be here tomorrow night as long as we can and as best as we can. Okay, good. They're doing okay so far. Okay, that's good. And as best as we can, just to have this space going where we can hear from each other. All right. Also, and this is the next thing that I don't understand, and I guess going forward, some policies, something more stringent must be in place. So the Jamaica Constabulary Force is urging construction companies and crane operators to lower and secure erected cranes immediately as Hurricane Melissa approaches. Come on now, come on, companies, do better than that, man. Get this thing, get these things done for sure. We need to get these things done. All right. So again, safety is definitely important, and I cannot overemphasize that. If you're also just tuning in, my understanding is that the toll road, accessing the toll road is free. This is not a fun time, but it's really there if you need to do that, if you need to check on somebody really quickly. But do not leave if conditions are not good or if conditions are poor. It's also there for first responders to have better access to people, to hospitals, for example. So that is good in that context as well. So I am just checking to see if we have any new updates. I am not seeing anything new on my side, and I'm not seeing anybody sending me anything over there on WhatsApp. All right, so we might just I'll try to see if we can go to the hour and call this one for tonight. All right, so we'll just see if that works for us here. I think it would have been the Met Office that would be doing another update at 11. Perhaps the National Hurricane Center too. So we'll just see what happens in that context if it becomes available. But if there is any massive change, either for the better or worse, we will try to be up and running as we did this morning. All right, so just so that you know that. Guys, the WhatsApp number is in the chat, you all sleeping. Let me just see here. All heavy units should be removed from elevation. Definitely Garmel, definitely, because that can be so dangerous. Tech Gaming is saying, okay, you're in between sleep. Okay, all right. Definitely. Prayers cannot be too much at this point. So we need to continue to keep these prayers going. All right, so the Prime Minister just shared that Hurricane Melissa continuing west but still expected to turn. Hurricane warning still in effect for Jamaica. All right, so we're keeping the fingers crossed. All right, so still some of what we shared earlier, but that was just posted by the PM there. But again, guys, let's keep the prayers going. Let's continue to keep safe, all right? And let's ask Melissa to go back from whence cometh, because that is definitely important. All right, so earlier we heard from Evan Thompson, director of the Met Service of Jamaica. So we're going to go to this recording to see if we can hear what Mr. Thompson had to share.
Category 4 hurricane. This is moving toward latest information coming to us and shared with the public is that this system continues to move toward the west. If you take a look at the picture that's on the screen, you'll see where the center of Hurricane Melissa is located. The system is a category 4 hurricane. This is moving toward the west at this time. The last location showed it to be south of Kingston. So it has already passed the longitude of Morant. It is now just about at the longitude of Kingston and will continue to move westward, but then it is expected to make its turn toward the north. We'll show you that track in just a moment, but you can see the rain bands that are associated with the system as it continues to move westward. Here is a slight loop just showing the development, but the eastern part of the island, it seemed to have been experiencing some rainfall, but it's not consistent. It's really periods of rainfall and actually just coming from time to time and very short periods. But we are experiencing some rainfall over sections of the island, and that is expected to increase as we go through this Saturday and going into Sunday. This is another image of the satellite imagery, but it also shows where a lot of the lightning strikes are in this system. Most of them on the eastern side of the center and in the bands that are surrounding the system. But we are seeing the white area where the dense overcast is moving over toward Jamaica as it moves toward the west. Then this way, we are proud to say that this is our radar image right here in Jamaica, the radar that's operated by the Meteorological Service. And you can see a very distinct eye also being projected on this image. So we see also where the rainfall is occurring in the system, and it is, as you can see, starting to affect sections of the island with the outer bands of this hurricane. I'm continuing just to show you where the system is moving. We see that it is expected to continue moving toward the west. If you look at that picture, and then it would turn toward Jamaica from the south, moving northward, moving over Jamaica. That's the same track basically that we've been sharing with you over the past day or so. And it is expected to be a major hurricane continuing in this way, moving right across the island as a category 4 hurricane. That is what is projected. It could go for a brief period as a category 5. That's yet to be seen, but right now the forecast is that it will move over Jamaica as a category 4 hurricane, and that is expected to start early on Tuesday or maybe very late on Monday, depending on how the system actually starts to move, if it moves at any quicker pace. Right now, the fastest I've seen it move is just about 6 kilometers per hour. That's just about 3 or 4 miles per hour. And so we're watching it moving very, very slowly, ambling over the waters, and then gradually moving closer and closer to us. This is the projected track moving across the island. You can see with that dotted line, but I'm showing this picture really because I want to show you what those green areas to the south and even to the north are, because they represent where the storm surge is expected to affect Jamaica. Storm surge is expected mainly over the southern side of the island, and this would be to the east of the center as it approaches the south coast and as it begins to make impact. So we see the greener areas really over Clarendon, parts of St. Catherine, and then going into Kingston and western parts of St. Thomas. That's where we're expecting most of the storm surge. But if you take a look at that area, just east of the Portland Cottage area, and of course where you see those lighter greens and the browns, that is where the highest storm surge is expected to take place. So if you're anywhere in this general area, if you can take a look at your map, I'll tell you what the names of some of the communities are in maybe the next briefing. But for the time being, this is the general area that we do expect to experience most of the storm surge, which means waves pushed onto the land and possibly getting as high as 13 feet. Continuing on the picture here, we'll see the amount of rainfall that we are expected to experience across the country. I told you that we've started to experience some rain, but it has not been intense thus far. But when you look at this picture, you'll see that intense rainfall is projected across the country. This shows that we could have 20 to 30 inches of rainfall over the eastern and some south central parts of the country. And then even in the higher elevations in the east, we could have over 30 inches, getting close to, in millimeters, close to 1,000 millimeters. Over the period of this system moving across us. So this is tremendous rainfall that is bound to cause widespread flooding right across the country. And it is something to be noteworthy for all our communities. I believe there are flooding potential areas in every parish of our country. And so you need to know if you're in a flood prone area, if you're in a low-lying area, you need to take note. If you're near to a river course or a gully, you need to also take special note and find some alternative location that you can move to should you be threatened by the heavy rainfall. This is just another picture of the clouds over the area associated with the hurricane. And here we can see another image showing the satellite picture, and we're seeing a lot of the showers and thunderstorms from this system. The track outlook, there are a number of projections, but I won't go into any more detail with these pictures, just to tell you that we need to continue to monitor what is happening, continue to listen to the bulletins that are issued by the Meteorological Service, and of course, be prepared for quick action if you need to take that action. All preparations should have been completed, and we really should just be in a safe, a secure place, waiting for the system to move over us and pass over us. So I should point out that there is a slight shift in the track thus far to the west. We're hoping that we'll see more shifts that will eventually take it off the country. But right now, the forecast is that we will be directly impacted by the eye, a landfalling between Monday night and Tuesday morning, and it will move across us right through the day on Tuesday. Thank you.
All right, so that was Evan Thompson there. All right, director of the Met Service of Jamaica. All right, so again, you have heard it all from us in the context of, why safety is definitely important. And I'm seeing Dr. Charles there saying next advisory at 2 a.m. And yes, Lord, cover us. All right, so through there, Tech Gaming, the eastern side of the storm is the strongest. All right, and let me see here one missing. Tech Gaming is saying, yeah, definitely does not make any sense in that context. So definitely put your life first. Safety comes first. All right, in the name of Jesus, for sure. And Garmel is saying 13 feet wave is dangerous. All right, this hurricane is behaving like Ivan, and perhaps worse than Ivan. But based on what they're saying, Ivan was so significant, and we just have to count our blessings. But what they're saying is that this is going to be, worse than Ivan, because the thing about Ivan did not make landfall. All right, so Ivan brushed us, but it was a category 4. Beryl brushed us as a category 4. But this category 4 that perhaps might intensify into a cat 5 is still projected to make some landfall, all right, in that context. And so that's the danger, and it is just slow. I don't know. It's like Melissa is wondering if she should come, but just tell her to go back from whence cometh. Back to the sender, Melissa. Back to the sender. It's so simple. Go back from whence cometh. Back to the sender for sure. All right, we can't manage you. Go on back to the sender. Go back, man. We understand sad and dangerous, but go on back, man. Go on back. It's okay. All right, it's okay. We're not sending to nowhere else. We're just saying go back from whence cometh. My. All right, so yes, guys. So that's pretty much the updates that we have on this side. So we want to hear from you there in the chat. I can see that we have a few more people here with us. Just come on, comment in the chat and let us know. You know, the community. This is a space where we coordinate, you know, responses from different areas. So if, for example, let's say this system should hit us and you're not able to hear from, you know, your family members, you can always check in with us and we'll tell you the latest update that we have from a particular community. This space has been a good one where we have people who are very responsible in the context of how they share. And again, I want to beg of you not to go out in any weather, in any system, to try and get pictures or videos to send to us. Please don't do that. Do not risk your life. If you're able to stay inside without compromising your safety, that is okay. But don't go out in the middle of rain and wind trying to send voices any video. No, we don't want it. We want it to keep safe, all right? So that's important. So we're here and not seeing any new comments in the chat. So I'm going to circle again to see if I have any new updates on this side to share with you guys. And so I'm still here and I am doing my checks, all right? And perhaps let me just check in to see if the health minister has any updates. So this was a visit from the health minister earlier today, all right, to, I believe, the Lionel Town Hospital. So let's just go to that update. All right, that's it. That's it. Tech gaming. Whenever I send for you, so go back from whence cometh. Let's go to this update.
So we are here at the Lionel Town Hospital, southern Clarendon, low-lying area that is prone to flooding. Just met with the Member of Parliament and Minister of Labour and Social Security, Colonel Charles Jr. and the staff had conversations. The hospital is prepared, doctors are on standby, supporting staff, nurses, and my message to them is to be prepared for a very difficult challenge with this storm. This is a flood-prone area. Places like Rocky Point are very prone to flooding. Portland Cottage. Want to urge the citizens, listen, if you're in a low-lying area and you can relocate to higher ground, please consider it, because we have to treat the storm seriously, and there's going to be some flooding without a doubt, and lives will be threatened. However, the hospital is here and we're ready to serve. So we pray God's guidance, but we say make the effort to protect yourself and your property as we go through this storm.
All right, so that was Minister Tufton there. All right, in that context of sharing there, and based on his visit to the Lionel Town Hospital there in Southeast Clarendon. All right, so again, welcome. If you're just tuning in, all right, we're happy to have you here, and we're definitely providing you with updates in the context of, you know, what is happening as best as we can. Ron is saying, I have faith in the Jamaican spirit. Stay strong and you will survive. All right, Charles is gonna say night night. We'll see what happens at 2 a.m. All the best, Charles. All right, and definitely we'll see if we can. We have to get our best sleep tonight, but for sure, if there's anything significant, we will definitely come and give a quick update. So we'll perhaps be giving a quick update, maybe not this long, but you know, a quick update in that context. So thank you so much, Charles, for being here. Appreciate it. So yes, guys, we're just going to stay here for perhaps another 15 minutes with you guys. So would love for you to share what's happening. All right, in your communities, let us know in the chat. That would be fantastic. All right, as we're here preparing for this storm or hurricane, and hopefully it does not come, because that's what we are hoping for. So I am just doing some other checks just to get a sense of what's happening, if there are any new updates. And I am not seeing, but still checking, guys. We are checking here. And again, if you have or in one of those communities with that mandatory evacuation order, please leave. All right, that is definitely important. All right, so let's hear from this fisherman in Port Royal who has decided not to leave. So let's just go to this clip here.
Someone, as a fisherman, you consider your boat and your engine first. You run side of the beach. So we've been working for 3 days now. First day is boat and engine, we have to draw them up and take them out of the region because the water will run come heavy. All right, now the second phase is that to run them down there. Right now, I expect my run to leave. No joke. So when I come to the sustain and support, I expect it to just leave. Yeah. Number 3, my house, I'm prepared to the fullest to the capability that I can prepare for. So right now I'm just relaxing and wait for the world. Full joy in the better part of it right now.
So the government has asked for you to evacuate residents of Port Royal. Do you plan to?
All right now, many folks has leave already. Many have leave already. Even right now, you see people packing up and leaving. Look over there. People packing up and leaving right now. But we as fishermen, we don't really intend to leave. Why? Is because through the many years of this thing, we don't really have a problem with the water surge or flooding. Because the water cannot come to this high. We go run out back in the sea, so we don't really have a problem with flooding. That's a number one. The most destruction we have is just roof moving. Vulnerable structure will be moving. So you have to just prepare as best as possible. Yes, sir. Don't be shy. Get in.
Alright. What's your name?
Nila. Someone as a
All right, so you heard it there. So they're trusting their expertise or experience as fishermen to stay. And what this Mr. Miller is sharing is that, hey, the water will come, but it will go back into the sea. The most is the roof that will go. But I hope that, we don't hear that people in Port Royal, they need help and they can't get help because you refuse to leave. All right, so that is not going to be good. All right, so again, welcome. We're just checking here for updates. And so just bear with me, guys. So I am just checking the normal places that I will go to just get some updates. And I'm really not seeing. All right, so the UE, all right, so that's the University Hospital of the West Indies, has instructed non-essential employees to remain home until further notice in light of Hurricane Melissa. The hospital says essential workers who are required to work must show up only if it is safe to do so. The major hurricane is expected to make landfall by Tuesday. All right, so just that so that you can have that understanding. All right, so we're just checking here for updates. So earlier today, the Star visited sections of Alligator Pond in Manchester, and people were there, just I guess being good. So let's hear from the owner of Little Ochi Seafood and Restaurant. All right, Blackie. So let's just go to this update.
Its potential impact on your Blackie Christian, Blackie Christian, owner and operator of Little Ochi Seafood Restaurant in Alligator Pond. Okay. All right, Mr. Christian, can you just share with me your concerns about Hurricane Melissa and its impact on your business? Its potential impact on your business. Yeah, man. Well, my concern about Melissa is no different from Beryl. But this time around, I think we're more prepared because the how the weather pattern looked, it looked like Alligator Pond is in the eye of the storm. So as you can see, we do our best. We tie down what we can tie down. We move what we can move to higher ground. And that's the only preparation we can do now. How long have you been operating this business here? Well, we're in business from 1989. We're 36 years in business. And we have seen quite a few storms. But based on what they're saying about this one, it's going to be a storm to remember. Blackie Chris.
All right, so again, you hear it over and over. It's going to be a storm to remember. This one is going to be different. And so, again, we just need to take these things seriously. All right, so that is definitely important in the context of Miss Melissa, Madam Melissa. All right, so yes, guys, we are definitely here and we will be here just to support you as best as we can. So earlier today, just seeing a video here from Alligator Pond where swimmers brave the rough waves and strong winds as Hurricane Melissa outer bands batter Jamaica on Sunday. All right, and so they were there in the sea. All right, so that is something else. But I hope that everyone is at this point at least taking this hurricane seriously, because that is definitely important, all right, for us to keep safe. It's better for us to be prepared than sorry. That is really the situation at this point. All right, so it's better for us to be over prepared than not to be prepared, better for us to be safe than not to be safe. And then we are just not here. Jeffrey, welcome back. Welcome back. Happy to have you back here with us. All right. So, again, guys, we are, coming down to gravy with this one. And we too here on this side, we're going to try to get some rest to see tomorrow night. We'll perhaps be on here about 9, 10, as late as possible to see how best we can keep you through. But I suspect that we are going to get some updates in the morning, and I'll try to set my alarm. So if I can just come on and give you a quick update, we will do that. But at that point, please ignore the voice that you're going to hear, because perhaps it's not going to sound all that good. But we will definitely try our best. All right. And I've checked in with family members in different parts of the country, and they're okay, so that is good. And so we're trying to keep that connection too. And even with some of my family members, this is perhaps the space where they're going to hear in that context. So we understand, even with Beryl, when that happened, we weren't able to hear from quite a lot of persons. So similar to what we're sharing with you in terms of relying on people from certain communities to get a sense of what is happening, that's how that worked for us too. So guys, let's just continue to be resilient. We are resilient people, and we are able to bounce back from any adversity. So let's just prioritize, let's just prioritize our safety. Let's just put that first. And again, as I said, with Christ in the vessel, we can smile at the storm. But we cannot expect to go there and be doing stupid things and expect to be okay. So if you do stupid things, you're going to reap stupid rewards, right? And so you want to be cognizant of that and check in with your family members just to get a timestamp too. That is also important based on our experience. Like, when was the last time you heard from them? So let's say if we get an update that the power went in X community at such time, you can say, okay, based on the last time you have heard from them, it's likely that they're without power. They're perhaps out in terms of communication outages, power outages are going to be highly possible given the effects that are being projected for Jamaica in the context of this hurricane. And I see Dalton is saying stay safe, sleep well. Definitely. We have been up early this morning in between getting stuff done, and now, yeah. So we want to be with you guys, especially in the storm. So we have our plans in place on this side. So hopefully it all worked out. It will all work out. So we'll see how best we can get things done. All right. And I know, like, some government places, they're also having what is it called? Starlink. Yeah. That system up. So connection. So once you're able to connect to the internet or even WhatsApp, we should have some updates for you guys. All right. So that's the context there for sure. All right. So any final comments before we leave? Kalia, welcome. And good night to you too. Where are you tuned in from, Kalia? If you could let us know, that would be good. And we'll continue to share in the WhatsApp group as well. So that is also another space where we are going to be sharing there as well. So welcome, Kalia. Let us know where you're tuned in from and what's the weather like in your area. So then, Trelawney, I am not too sure, but okay, you're in Canada. But the situation is right now that along the coast, right? Depending on where, we're hearing that it is moving west and then it's going to go north. But at this point, the entire country, all right, is going to feel some effects of this system. All right, so that part of it is going to perhaps get worse at some point in time. So just ensure that you're connecting with family members, and as I just shared, try to get a timestamp in the context of, even if a message and you get, so you can say, okay, I've heard from them at, let's say, 8 p.m. And in the event that we hear that, there's a power outage in that area, you can kind of use that as a benchmark to say, okay, given the time that I last heard from my family members or friends, it is likely that they're without power or they don't have access to certain, like, internet. So a lot of it is perhaps going to be more so the power, and if people can get their phones charged. I know I spoke to my sister earlier, and that was really like the situation. But then she was like, okay, I'll get the phone charged in the car. So people are thinking of other ways to ensure that, we have access in that context, because that is going to be significant, right? So just the access and the charging is really the big part, because when I spoke to my cousin um in Manchester there, it's again, that's the concern, to get the devices charged up. And so we're just thinking about ingenious ways, not really ingenious ways, but ways to conserve battery life, as well as how to stay connected. All right, so that is also important in this context as well. All right, let me just do one final check to see if there is anything from the National Hurricane Center. But other than that, I am going to call this one at this point. We're going to wrap up this one so that we can get some rest and try to be back. Well, we have been, I'm not too sure if it is 2 o'clock Jamaica time or 2 o'clock US time. I need to check that. That Dr. Charles there shared before leaving. That's the time of the next update. So we'll definitely check that out. But I am doing one last check in here to see if there is anything new to share with you guys before we call this one. Again, you can also send us a number. Not a number. You can always also send us a message over there on WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number is at the top of the chat. All right. And we're hearing now that as Portlanders brace for Hurricane Melissa, another kind of disaster struck as fire of unknown origin left 3 people homeless in Port Antonio on Sunday night. My word. That is definitely tough. All right. So definitely tough there. So let me just double check here with the National Hurricane Center. No new updates, so I'll just share the last update before I leave. And so the key message was really about Hurricane Melissa. It's still currently at 145 miles per hour. All right, it's still a Category 4 hurricane. Conditions in Jamaica will continue to get worse on Monday, peaking Monday night through Tuesday. Hurricane warnings in effect for Jamaica and eastern Cuba, with tropical storm warnings for Haiti. Catastrophic impacts are expected in Jamaica and Haiti, with potentially catastrophic landslides for eastern Cuba. The hurricane is then forecast to move through the southeastern parts of Bahamas on Wednesday. All right, so that's the latest update, and that was just like about 58 minutes ago from the National Hurricane Center. So, on that note, guys, we're going to call it for this evening. Thank you so much for coming over, for sharing in the chat, for sticking and staying with us. All right, it's important for you to subscribe, turn on your post notifications, so tap the bell, select all, so that you do not miss any updates. You can also send us a message on WhatsApp and we will add you to the broadcast group so we can share information with you in that context. All right, but all that I can say at this point is to keep safe. If you have any updates, significant updates, send us a message on WhatsApp. You can always call us on WhatsApp, but in all honesty, I'm gonna put this phone on silent just so that I can get some sleep, because that is that is important at this point. And we're going to do another, well, I did some checks with family members. I'm just looking in the chat there. Garmel is saying if it continues on the projected path, Trelawney and all will be impacted. Okay, you're responding to Kalia there. Oh yeah, for sure. So on that note, guys, thank you so much. Continue to keep safe. Will perhaps be, if it is really significant of an update, either way, positive or negative, we will try to come live. Well, I need to check to see what time zone the national, I don't even know, because let me just check. Let me just check to see what time zone they're operating in. I'm just checking here, guys. Just give me a moment. So this was 11 p.m. advisory. I'm not sure what time zone. This looks like Eastern EDT. So I suspect it's not too far from here, but we'll figure it out. Don't worry, we will figure it out and we will definitely update you guys. All right, and Gary saying, well said, please go and get some rest, and we appreciate you so much. Thank you so much, and we appreciate you too. And Ovi is still, well, he's not hiding, but hopefully you'll hear from him. But Ovi is doing okay. We're okay on this side. So far so good. Our families are doing okay, so far so good. Our friends are doing okay, so far so good. I don't know of anyone personally who is in let me say, in like a not so safe space right now, but things can change as this system gets closer. But I have, just similar to what I am sharing with you, is the same message to family members. Stay inside. Don't go outside trying to figure out what's going on. Stay connected as best as you can, and if you have to go, you just have to go. All right, so that's the message. Safety prioritizes everything else. Prioritize your safety. All right, so safety trumps everything else. So on that note, blessings and love, guys, and I will see you all in the next live. All right, so for you to know that, I'll share in the WhatsApp group, and I'll also, and if you have your post notification turned on, you will definitely get that update from us. So continued blessings, and take care. Remember, with Christ in the vessel, we can definitely smile at the storm. And we're sending Melissa from Whence Comet. So back to the sender, madam. Back to the sender. All right, take care, guys, and I will see you in the next live. Bye for now.